Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. In 2025, the Chrisley family's journey has been marked by significant transformations, challenges, and moments of resilience. Here's an in-depth look at the lives of Todd and Julie Chrisley's 5 children: Lindsay, Kyle, Chase, Savannah, and Grayson, amidst the family's ongoing legal and personal developments. Lindsay Chrisley embracing new beginnings. Lindsay Chrisley is no stranger to public scrutiny or emotional trials, but this year has marked a turning point in her personal journey. The eldest daughter of the Chrisley family has stepped out of the shadows of past controversy and into a season of quiet strength and resilience. With family tensions easing and her personal life taking a different direction, Lindsay is focusing on what matters most: peace, healing, and self-growth. Following a highly publicized divorce and a brief return to the dating world, Lindsay found herself reevaluating her priorities. Her short relationship with Trent, which gained public attention through social media, ended quietly earlier this year. Sources close to her say the split was mutual and drama-free, signaling a new level of maturity and clarity in her approach to relationships. She has since removed all traces of the romance from her public platforms, choosing instead to center her online presence around parenting, lifestyle, and wellness. Family has always been a complicated topic for Lindsay. Once estranged from her father, Todd Chrisley, and the rest of the family due to deeply personal disputes, she made headlines when she reconciled with her parents just before their incarceration. Despite the emotional weight of that chapter, Lindsay has taken a calm and supported stance, maintaining connection with her siblings, particularly Savannah. She has been featured in recent family discussions and podcasts, showing a willingness to move forward without reopening old wounds. Professionally, Lindsay has continued to carve out a space of her own. Her podcast remains active, where she often shares candid thoughts on mental health, motherhood, and navigating life in the public eye. Listeners appreciate her honesty and relatability, with many commenting on the growth they have witnessed in her over time. She speaks openly about boundaries, healing, and the importance of choosing peace over conflict. Lindsay has also shifted much of her focus to raising her son, who remains her top priority. She frequently emphasizes the importance of creating a stable, nurturing environment for him away from media chaos. Her social media reflects that balance of a curated glimpse into a life that prioritizes authenticity. She is no longer part of the Chrisley television empire and rarely appears in reality content. Her journey remains of interest to fans who have followed her through highs and lows. In embracing this new chapter, Lindsay Chrisley is not chasing headlines or redemption, but rather wholeness. Her story is no longer about division, but about quiet rebuilding. In a world quick to label and judge, she has chosen to evolve gracefully on her own terms. Lindsay Chrisley is not just surviving the storm, she is redefining what it means to live through it with grace, strength, and hope for something better. Kyle Chrisley, legal challenges and personal struggles. Kyle Chrisley continues to face a turbulent path as personal struggles and legal challenges remain at the forefront of his life. The eldest son of Todd Chrisley has lived much of his adulthood under a cloud of conflict, addiction recovery efforts, and now repeated run-ins with the law that threaten to further complicate his future. In recent years, Kyle has made efforts to rebuild fractured relationships within his family. Once estranged from both his father and stepmother, Kyle surprised many by making appearances alongside them and even participating in public conversations that hinted at healing. Despite these gestures, the foundation of peace proved fragile. As his parents served time in federal custody, Kyle has again found himself in troubling situations that have drawn both legal consequences and public attention. The most serious concerns stem from multiple incidents that involved law enforcement and allegations of violence. These encounters, which occurred over separate occasions, reportedly involved confrontations at his place of work and physical altercations that escalated to criminal charges. Though details remain limited due to ongoing proceedings, sources close to the family describe Kyle as someone struggling to find stability and clarity amidst the pressure of living with personal demons in the public eye. Substance use and mental health challenges have long been part of Kyle's story. In past interviews, members of the Chrisley family, including his father, have spoken openly about their efforts to support Kyle through rehab and recovery programs. At times, there appeared to be progress, especially during moments when Kyle focused on rebuilding his relationship with his daughter Chloe. However, these moments have often been followed by setbacks, reminding observers that healing is rarely a straight line. Kyle's current legal issues have once again placed strain on family dynamics. While his siblings continue to handle their own challenges, including the custody of Chloe by his half-sister Savannah, Kyle's role as a father remains complicated. Reports suggest that while he maintains a desire to reconnect with his daughter, legal and personal barriers make that difficult. Despite the weight of his circumstances, Kyle has not completely retreated from public view. He occasionally posts cryptic or emotional messages on social platforms that hint at internal conflict and a desire for peace. Friends say he is receiving guidance from close allies and has begun exploring spiritual paths in hopes of finding a more grounded way of living. Kyle Chrisley's story is one of contrasting light and darkness, progress and relapse. While the legal system will determine the outcome of his most recent charges, his future also hinges on personal decisions yet to be made. For fans of the Chrisley family, his journey is painful to watch but serves as a reminder that fame does not shield anyone from the challenges of addiction, mental health, and the consequences of unresolved troubles and family support. Chase Chrisley, once seen as the charismatic and carefree son of the Chrisley family, is now facing a very different reality as legal trouble casts a long shadow over his once polished public image. A recent incident has forced Chase into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons, and the fallout has put both his character and his family loyalty to the test. The situation began when reports emerged of a late-night altercation at a popular Atlanta bar. Allegedly under the influence, Chase became involved in a confrontation that turned physical, with witnesses claiming the scene escalated quickly, leading to accusations of assault. While details remain under investigation, sources suggest that Chase was briefly detained before being released pending further review by local authorities. The incident has sparked widespread media attention, reigniting public debate around the pressures faced by reality television figures, especially those whose family lives are already under intense scrutiny. Chase, known for his witty charm and playful presence on the long-running family show, now finds himself battling public judgment while trying to manage the legal repercussions of his actions. What sets this chapter apart, however, is the unwavering support shown by his family. In particular, his sister Savannah Chrisley has stepped in as a stabilizing force, making public statements that emphasize unity, compassion, and accountability. Despite the heavy load she already carries, including guardianship of their younger brother and niece, Savannah has made it clear that Chase is not facing this moment alone. Privately, family insiders reveal that Chase is remorseful and is taking steps to reflect on his actions. While official charges have not yet been confirmed, Chase has reportedly begun attending therapy sessions and is distancing himself from nightlife environments that may trigger poor decisions. Those close to him believe that this event may serve as a necessary wake-up call. Professionally, Chase had been exploring ventures outside of reality television, including real estate and digital branding, with his personal brand now under scrutiny. It remains to be seen how this legal situation will impact his future projects and endorsements. For now, he has paused public appearances and is focused on regrouping with the help of his inner circle. The Chrisley name has become almost synonymous with high-profile challenges, but what continues to resonate with the public is the family's pattern of rallying behind one another during times of crisis. Whether facing legal battles, personal losses, or public judgment, the Chrisley siblings have maintained a tight bond that often defies expectation. Chase Chrisley is currently navigating unfamiliar territory where charm and humor offer little defense against real-world consequences. Still, with family by his side and a chance to learn from past mistakes, he may yet find a way to turn this low point into a moment of personal growth. The coming weeks will determine what lessons Chase is willing to embrace and whether he can rise above the noise to reclaim control of his story. Savannah Chrisley, guardian advocate, has stepped into a role few her age ever imagined, taking on her transformation from reality television personality to full-time guardian and advocate has been nothing short of extraordinary. In the face of intense public scrutiny and private heartache, Savannah continues to redefine what it means to lead with resilience, purpose, and grace. Since the incarceration of her parents, Savannah has become the primary caregiver for her younger brother and her niece, a responsibility she assumed without hesitation. In doing so, she has not only taken on the day-to-day duties of raising a family, but also the emotional weight that comes with explaining complex situations to children whose lives changed overnight. While many questioned whether she could handle such a heavy role, Savannah has proven herself fiercely committed to protecting the well-being of those in her care. Outside of the home, Savannah has grown into a powerful advocate for families affected by the justice system. She has used her platform to speak out on prison reform, raising awareness about the conditions her parents and others face behind bars. Through podcast episodes, interviews, and heartfelt social media posts, she has sparked difficult but necessary conversations. Her advocacy is rooted not in bitterness, but in a desire for fairness and reform. In addition to her responsibilities as a guardian and advocate, Savannah remains active as a media figure. She continues to host her podcast, where she shares insights on faith, personal growth, and family life. Her followers have come to admire her vulnerability and strength, especially during moments when she opens up about mental health, heartbreak, and the pressure of being a public figure. One of the most talked about developments in her personal life was the end of her relationship with Robert Shiver. Their breakup made headlines not only because of who they are, but also due to the controversy surrounding his estranged wife. Despite the media circus, Savannah chose dignity over drama, offering limited comment and focusing instead on healing and moving forward. Through it all, Savannah has kept her priorities clear. Family comes first. Her dedication to her brother and niece, her efforts to support her parents from afar, and her refusal to let public opinion dictate her decisions have earned her respect from both supporters and skeptics alike. Savannah Chrisley is not just surviving the storm, she is walking through it with her head held high. She is a reminder that strength does not always roar. Sometimes it looks like showing up every day for the people who need you most, even when the world is watching. Her journey is far from over, but with every challenge, Savannah proves that she is more than a television personality. She is a protector, a voice, and a steady presence in a world full of noise. Chrisley, a young man in transition. Chrisley, once the baby of the Chrisley family, is now navigating the complexities of growing up in the public eye. As he moves into adulthood, the challenges he faces go far beyond what most young men experience. Raised under the glare of reality television, Grayson's journey into young adulthood has been defined by personal growth, public expectations, and a family dynamic that has been anything but conventional. In the wake of his parents' legal troubles and subsequent incarceration, Grayson's life has undergone dramatic changes. His older sister, Savannah, assumed guardianship of him and their niece, Chloe, in a time of immense emotional strain. While this transition has been difficult for many, Grayson has shown remarkable maturity in accepting his new reality. Despite the overwhelming circumstances, he remains a grounded and private figure in a family accustomed to being in the spotlight. As he steps further into adulthood, Grayson has found solace in a quieter lifestyle, one that contrasts with the chaos his family has endured. Often seen staying out of the public eye, Grayson is focusing on personal development, spending time with his siblings, and pursuing his interests. Whether through social media posts that reveal snippets of his life or moments shared with family, Grayson has kept his journey relatively low-key, a stark contrast to the dramatic narrative that has often surrounded his family. The role of guardian, which Savannah has taken on, has not been an easy one, but it has shaped Grayson into someone who values stability and close family bonds. The deep connection between the two siblings is evident, as Savannah often speaks about Grayson's maturity and strength. She describes him as a steadying influence in the midst of their family's turmoil, something that has allowed him to thrive even when the world around him seemed to fall apart. Grayson's future, like that of many young men, remains unwritten. While he has shown no interest in following the spotlight of his family's reality television career, there is still much curiosity about where his talents and interests will take him. Whether he chooses to pursue academics, sports, or business, Grayson has the foundation of a solid support system and a resilience that has already carried him through some of the toughest times a young person can face. Though his story is still unfolding, Grayson Chrisley is proving that he is more than just the youngest member of a famous family. He is a young man in transition, defining himself on his own terms and charting a course that reflects his maturity, growth, and the quiet strength that has emerged in him during a challenging period. Family dynamics and future endeavors. The Chrisley family's journey in 2025 reflects a tapestry of challenges, growth, and resilience. While Todd and Julie Chrisley continue to serve their sentences, their children have stepped into roles of responsibility and advocacy. The family's efforts to rebuild and support one another underscore their commitment to unity and personal development. As they navigate the complexities of their circumstances, the Chrisley children continue to share their stories, offering a glimpse into their lives beyond the headlines. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.